It's supposed to help small businesses during this time. Small businesses.
This is kind of just the most recent version of this story.
MrBeast frequently gives away millions and millions of dollars.
Khloe Kardashian, Kanye West, Reese Witherspoon.
Seems like he needs a loan if you ask me.
Jeffree Star's, FaZe Clan's, and MrBeast's businesses have received millions of dollars in government relief loans, and fans are outraged. Before I get into the tea, I just want to put out a disclaimer. Please do not send any hate to Jeffree Star, FaZe Clan, MrBeast, or anyone else mentioned in this story. This video is simply meant to report on the news and give some insight on the situation. As the effects of the worldwide lockdown hit the economy and forced businesses to shut down, Congress passed a $2 trillion economic relief bill in late March to help struggling Americans. Part of that bill was the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP. The program issued loans that provided small businesses with an incentive to keep employees on the payroll, even if the businesses had to remain closed. The loans are also forgiven if all employee retention criteria are met and the money is used for appropriate expenses. As for who qualifies for the loans, that information isn't entirely clear. Some of the criteria the Small Business Association, SBA, gives on its website are any small business that meets the SBA size standards, sole proprietors, independent contractors, and self-employed people, any accommodations or food services businesses that has more than one physical location and less than 500 employees per location, any business, nonprofit, veterans organization, or tribal business concern with up to 500 employees, or that meets the industry standard if it has more than 500 employees. Those qualifications seem to include most businesses, but the general understanding was these loans were meant to help small businesses, not wealthy individuals or large corporations. However, a few wealthy influencers applied for and received large PPP loans. Jeffree Star allegedly made $18 million in 2018, and his makeup brand, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, is estimated to be worth around $100 million. Jeffree Star Cosmetics received a PPP loan between $350,000 and $1 million on May 3rd. While the brand might have taken a hit after Morphe cut ties with the company in July, the loan was approved 2 months earlier. MrBeast is a YouTuber who is known for performing wild stunts and giving away large amounts of money or luxury items. According to The Verge, the giveaways are funded by AdSense money from ads on his YouTube videos and brand deals. His company, MrBeast YouTube LLC, received a PPP loan between $350,000 and $1 million on April 14th. According to Mashable, the exact amount was $377,000. A representative for MrBeast YouTube LLC told Mashable the company had over 40 employees and many brand deals fell through when the pandemic began. Although the SBA data said the company had only 7 employees, the representative said the number provided by the SBA was due to a clerical error. Explaining why the company had applied for a PPP loan, the representative said multiple sponsors pulled out of projects, our advertising revenue plummeted by 70%, and we had numerous finished videos we couldn't post. We didn't have access to testing, so we also had no idea at the time when we would be able to produce new content. We felt this was the best avenue that would help us weather the storm. The representative said business had rebounded since the lockdown started, and MrBeast had created over 50 full-time jobs in North Carolina, where he lives. The representative also clarified that MrBeast YouTube LLC's accounts are separate from MrBeast's personal finances. All charitable donations, including a $150,000 to Black Lives Matter and $250,000 to Special Effect, of course did not come from company resources. FaZe Clan is both an esports company and a lifestyle brand valued at an estimated $240 million. It's also a social media collective with several members, all of whom have the name FaZe in their channel names. In early April, FaZe Clan raised $40 million in a funding round and secured a partnership with a major e-commerce platform, Network. The group received a PPP loan of approximately $1.1 million that same month. According to Mashable, FaZe Clan CEO Lee Trink said, "As a growing business, we continue to expand our staff in January. We are grateful for the PPP loan because it has allowed us to retain 100% of our employees, despite having to reduce our revenue projection by many millions in esports alone due to the pandemic. It has always been our intention to repay the loan in full, and we plan to as soon as it is safe to do do so. In a follow-up response to Mashable, FaZe Clan clarified the partnership with Network closed in December 2019 and was announced just before they were approved for the PPP loan. Many people were angry about influencers who are known for their wealth receiving pandemic relief money for their businesses. I simply will never understand how someone like Jeffree Star can be considered a small business owner when his business is accessible worldwide and his launches sell out within minutes. You think his cosmetics are his only source of income? Aside from YouTube, he owns properties, handles merchandise from other companies and YouTubers. He has money coming in at all hours of the day. He didn't need that money, but he took it anyways. MrBeast is as guilty as Jeffree Star and everyone who misused PP. I'm super disappointed in MrBeast taking out PPP. His business would have likely survived. So many other businesses had no chance. Someone else could have used that money more. Some people pointed out that other Americans were financially struggling while influencers like Jeffree and MrBeast got hundreds of thousands of dollars. So stupid rich YouTubers like Jeffree Star get millions, meanwhile us average Americans, many whom are jobless, still can't get our second stimulus check. What the f? Also, thousands of people still haven't even gotten their first stimulus. I was laid off in March because my boss couldn't get a PPP loan. I finally got a new job in August. I went from $26 an hour to $17 an hour, but thank God MrBeast was able to put out good content. Jeffree Star, MrBeast, and FaZe are literally taking money out of other people's pockets. However, one person defended Jeffree. If he used the money for his employees and didn't lay them off, he had the right to get the money. The problem was actually the implementation of the loans in the first place. The parameters should have been much stricter, oversight should have been done, and prosecution of people who abused it should have been more clearly stated. That said, we can't just start attacking people because we don't like them. Others defended MrBeast. Imagine trying to call out MrBeast for making money and giving it away to random strangers. People mad at MrBeast for $1 million, meanwhile big business gets hundreds of millions, LMAO. But some people debated whether MrBeast actually deserved the loan. In MrBeast's case, I don't think he'd have asked for it if he didn't think he really needed it. MrBeast is a good guy, but he does also employ and provide a livelihood for several people and their families. I don't he wishes he didn't have to. I doubt it. He always seemed fake to me. If you point out what everything costs in a video of yours, it looks like you're shallow to me. He just gave an island to one of his friends. He should have been on the bottom of the list of business getting PPP. What about the mom and pop shops that have employees? It's not fair, and MrBeast should return all of the money if he's such a good person. And a few people question MrBeast's intentions with his charitable acts. I reckon those giveaways are probably classed as charitable donations, goes around handing out money and cars, seems like a great guy, pulls in lots of views, etc., but doesn't actually lose any money overall. It's always seemed that he barely give money to people outside of his circle, unless it's when it comes to the videos of him donating to random Twitch streamer. Most of the videos have been him giving money to all his friends. If I worked for someone like MrBeast and watched him handing out all this personal cash, but not willing to put his own money towards his own employees and business, I'd feel pretty and second guessing the company I was working for. But YouTubers and influencers weren't the only ones receiving large PPP loans. Many celebrity companies were also receiving the loans. Here are some examples. Yeezy LLC, Kanye West company, received a PPP loan between $2 to $5 million. The company is estimated to be worth at least $3 billion. Good American LLC, Khloe Kardashian's clothing line, received between $1 to $2 million. Malibu Entertainment Incorporated, a company that seems to be connected to Jay-Z and his streaming service Tidal, received between $2 to $5 million. Draper James, Reese Witherspoon's clothing company, received between $350,000 to $1 million. Jeff Koons, who became the world's most valuable artist after selling his rabbit sculpture for over $90 million, received between $1 to $2 million for his studio space in New York City. Several musicians and bands who make the majority of their active income from touring also applied for and received PPP loans, including Pearl Jam, Pentatonix, The Eagles, and Nickelback. As well, large corporations and groups received at least several hundred thousands of dollars in loans, including TGI Fridays, PF Chang's, and Girl Scouts of the United States of America. Shake Shack and Ruth's Chris Steakhouse also came under fire after they applied for loans and received tens of millions of dollars. Shake Shack, a popular burger chain that has over 200 locations around the globe and earned nearly $565 million last year, received $10 million in loan money. Many people were outraged. They made that much money selling tiny, overpriced burgers and get relief funds? And now I can't have Shake Shack without a bitter taste in my mouth. I can't believe Shake Shack got it. They're a public multi-million-dollar corporation. That's some bullshit. Shake Shack took? Wow, that was one of my fave burger place. Not anymore. And others pointed out how Shake Shack got millions of dollars while many small businesses were denied. Why did Shake Shack get so much money in the first place while hospitals are begging for PPE, tests, and ventilators? Over 41,000 dead Americans won't be buying burgers and shakes, and Rump doesn't care. Shake Shack got $10 million? My dad's small business didn't even get a dime from the loan. However, the company's chairman and CEO wrote a joint statement saying they would return the money and they were unaware the program would quickly run out of money. In a statement posted on LinkedIn, Chairman Danny Meyer and CEO Randy Goretti said that while their company qualified to receive assistance as part of the Paycheck Protection Program, they had no idea that the fund would run out in less than 2 weeks and would return their loan to help businesses that need the money more. In their statement, Meyer and Goretti said that the PPP application was extremely confusing and that the onus was placed on each business to figure out how, when, or even if to apply for the loan. To qualify for the loan, a business could have no more than 500 people working at a single location, meaning Shake Shack, as well as almost any other restaurant in America, was eligible. But what they didn't realize, they said, is that the program was underfunded and that many who need it most haven't gotten any assistance. As for Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, the company received $20 million in federal loan money, but the owner of the chain said that money would be quickly repaid, although it was not clear how the company would do so. That seems to be the end of the situation for now. So, what's the big issue? The problem small businesses are having with accessing and using the PPP loans. As I mentioned earlier, many large corporations and wealthy Americans' businesses got PPP loans, which made people outraged after the fund ran out just days after launching, and the problems were present from the very beginning. According to a congressional investigation on the implementation of PPP loans, over $1 billion in loans went to companies that received multiple loans. More than 600 loans totaling over $96 million went to companies excluded from doing business with the government. More than 350 loans worth $195 million went to government contractors with significant performance and integrity issues. SBA and Treasury approved hundreds of loan applications missing key identifying information about the borrower. In other words, a lot of money went to companies that should not have received it. The problems also filtered down to the small businesses the program was meant to help. Trish Pugh, who owns a trucking business in Ohio with her husband, tried to apply for a loan when the program first opened, but ran into some trouble. First, there was confusion between her banker, and the Small Business Administration over what forms were needed to apply. And then, once she did, she soon found out that she had missed out on the money. I click on this website and it tells me that I have to reapply when more funds are available. I was devastated, she said. Not only did that first pot of PPP money run out in 13 days, but self-employed people like Pugh were only able to apply 1 week after the program opened. That put them well behind other businesses in the first-come, first-served program. She later received a loan of $10,000, which she said would help but wasn't sure for how long. Other business owners said the loans had too many strings attached to them. Among their biggest complaints, 75% of the forgiven amount on the loans must be spent on payroll. The rest can only be spent on a few categories: rent, mortgage interest, or utilities. But with many businesses unable to reopen, owners wonder how to spend that much on payroll when they have little or no work for their employees to do. I understand in principle it's encouraging us to get people back to work, said Christian Piat, the co-owner of Brew Drinkery in Granbury, Texas. But in practice, when you have a retail storefront that is not being allowed by local authorities to operate in the way that we had before, there should be some consideration to make it to account for that. In some cases, furloughed or laid off employees end up taking home more money through unemployment and federal money than they make while working, which can make rehiring them difficult. Another issue comes with the timeline for the businesses to spend the money. In the beginning, in order for the loan to be forgivable, businesses had to spend the money on approved expenses, mostly payroll, in just 2 months. One business, Mark Fisher Fitness, was able to pay its whole staff for 8 weeks, but once the money ran out, most of the staff had to be let go again. All of the issues with the loans highlighted the fundamental issue with the program. Was it meant to keep people employed or help businesses stay afloat? Because many businesses seem to be unable to do both. And this problem also adds more layers to bigger corporations receiving money. Michael Minnis, an accounting professor at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business, says, "It wasn't called the Small Business Protection Program or the Micro Business Protection Program. Companies in the 100 to 500 employee range have more payroll dollars than companies in the under 100 employees range. That's just math." So while the federal government has made some changes to help small businesses, the challenges aren't completely erased. This is a complex situation with no easy answers. MrBeast and Jeffree Star are known for their extravagant wealth, but their personal finances are separate from their business accounts, and their employees still need to be paid. However, it's easy to see why people are upset about wealthy people not using their own resources to financially support their businesses and taking federal money that's supposed to be for small businesses. Hopefully, more government support will be put in place to help struggling business owners recover during the pandemic. What do you think about this story? Do you think MrBeast and Jeffree Star should have taken PPP loans? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button. To keep up on all the tea, consider subscribing to the channel.